Welcome to the Live Free, Love Life podcast, where we discuss how to create more freedom so we can love our lives no matter what we're going through. Hello, my friends. Welcome to today's episode of Live Free, Love Life. Today, we are going to be talking about taking responsibility for your physical state. So if you've been listening to the podcast, over the past few weeks, we have explored the profound power of taking responsibility for your state, which is the complex interplay of physiological, cognitive, and emotional factors that shape your moment-to-moment experience and your capacity to create desired outcomes. Now, we've also talked about how a purposeful morning routine can be a powerful lever for priming your state for success each day. But the truth is, optimizing your state is an ongoing, multifaceted endeavor, one that requires attention to the four foundational pillars of human thriving: the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. We are not just minds, and we are not just bodies, and we are not just spirits. We are richly complex creatures with interdependent physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual dimensions that all contribute to the quality of our lived experience. And when we systematically cultivate each of these four pillars, developing healthy, empowering habits and mindsets in each domain, we unlock an unparalleled state of vitality, clarity, and deep fulfillment. We become the architects of our own optimal performance and well-being. So, over the next few weeks, we are going to dive into the latest research and ancient wisdom to explore specific science-backed strategies for masterfully sculpting each of these four pillars of peak state. And by the end, you will have a holistic roadmap for taking your personal and professional life to the next level. For today, we are going to start with the physical pillar. When it comes to unlocking your full potential, few things are as foundational as your physical state. After all, we don't exist as disembodied minds. We are flesh and blood organisms, profoundly shaped by the biological realities of our physiology. Just consider the profound impact that something as basic as sleep or nutrition can have on our cognitive function, emotional regulation, and overall well-being. When our physical systems are out of whack, it creates a cascade of negative effects that ripple through every aspect of our lives. Conversely, when we intentionally cultivate optimal physical health and vitality, we open the door to remarkable improvements in our mental clarity, emotional resilience, and even spiritual awareness. As the ancient wisdom traditions have long recognized, the body and mind are inextricably linked. What nourishes one nourishes the other. So if you are looking to take your personal and professional performance to the next level, mastering the physical pillar of peak state should be priority number one. And the good news is there is a wealth of science-backed strategies and expert-approved tools that you can leverage to sculpt your body and mind with laser-like precision. So today we will deep dive into the four key elements of physical optimization: sleep, nutrition, movement, and stress management. So first, the sleep optimization toolkit. If there is one element of physical state that seems to garner the most attention these days, it's sleep, and for very good reason. The quality and quantity of our slumber has a profound and wide-ranging impact on our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Yet in our fast-paced, overstimulated world, sleep is often one of the first casualties. The average American now sleeps nearly 2 hours less per night than they did a century ago. This chronic sleep deprivation exacts a heavy toll, impairing everything from immune function and hormone regulation to decision-making and mood. So, what can you do to ensure you're getting the high-quality, restorative sleep your body and brain so desperately need? Here are some top science-backed strategies and expert-recommended tools. Number one, establish a consistent sleep-wake cycle. As renowned sleep researcher Dr. Matthew Walker emphasizes, one of the most important foundations for healthy sleep is maintaining a regular circadian rhythm. This means going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time every day, and that means weekends too. This consistency helps to synchronize your internal biological clock, optimizing the release of sleep-promoting hormones like melatonin. Many experts recommend aiming for a consistent 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night and sticking to a regular sleep wake schedule as closely as possible. And as you've heard me say 1,000 times, I would highly encourage you to experiment. Maybe you need more like 7, maybe you need more like 9, or maybe you are out of the window and you actually need 10 or 12. Also, the exact time that you go to bed and get up in the morning is going to vary from person to person. So be willing to experiment when it comes to picking a consistent sleep wake schedule. Number 2, create a sleep supportive environment. The physical environment in which you sleep can also have a major impact on sleep quality. Factors like light, temperature, noise, and even the materials of your mattress and bedding can profoundly influence your ability to fall and stay asleep. According to sleep hacker Dave Asprey, some key environmental optimizations include keeping the room cool, dark, and quiet, or using a white noise machine, using blackout curtains, blue light blocking glasses, and eliminating screen time before bed, and investing in a high quality temperature regulating mattress and bedding. Number 3, implement strategic supplementation. Certain nutritional supplements can be powerful allies in the quest for better sleep. Things like magnesium, glycine, and melatonin have all been shown in studies to improve sleep onset, duration, and quality. For example, Tim Ferriss has experimented extensively with a supplement stack that includes magnesium glycinate, L-theanine, and a low dose of melatonin, all of which he credits with helping him fall asleep faster and experience more restful, regenerative slumber. And step number 4 for your sleep optimization toolkit is practice relaxing rituals. Beyond the physical environment, intentional pre-bed rituals can also work wonders for priming the body and mind for high quality sleep. This might include things like light stretching, gentle breath work, meditation, or even a warm Epsom salt bath. The key is to engage in activities that promote a parasympathetic rest and digest state, counteracting the sympathetic fight or flight activation that can keep us wired and restless. As neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman explains, this systematic wind down process is essential for resetting our nervous systems for optimal overnight recovery. Okay, so the first category, there are 4 categories in physical state. The first one is sleep, and the 4 steps for your sleep optimization toolkit are: 1, establish a consistent sleep wake cycle; 2, create a sleep supportive environment; 3, implement strategic supplementation; and 4, practice relaxing rituals. Okay, the second pillar that we want to look at when it comes to physical state, these are the top 4 things that the experts, researchers have found impact our physical state. So the second category is optimizing nutrition and hydration. So sleep is just the first step of the puzzle. Another essential element is how we fuel our bodies. The foods, beverages, and supplements we consume to nourish our cells, power our brains, and keep our systems humming. Dr. Sanjay Gupta has emphasized we are quite literally what we eat. The quality and composition of our diets have a direct and profound impact on our cognitive function, mood, and overall well being. And in an age of highly processed, nutrient depleted foods, intentional, high quality nutrition has never been more important. So, what does an optimized nutritional regimen look like? Here are some of the top strategies and tools recommended by leading health and performance experts. Number 1, prioritize whole, nutrient dense foods. The foundation of any peak performance nutrition plan is a diet rich in whole, minimally processed foods, things like organic vegetables, high quality proteins, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates. As functional medicine pioneer Dr. Mark Hyman has shown, this kind of nutrient dense, fiber rich eating can have a transformative effect on everything from energy levels to gut health. Some of the most nutrient dense superfoods to prioritize include leafy greens, wild caught fish, pasture raised eggs, avocados, berries, and fermented foods like kimchi or sauerkraut. The key is to crowd out highly processed, sugary, and inflammatory foods as much as possible. Number 2, Leverage targeted supplementation. While a whole foods diet should be a cornerstone, strategic supplementation can also be a powerful ally in the quest for optimal physical and cognitive performance. Supplements like omega 3s, vitamin D, and adaptogenic herbs have all been shown in studies to confer a wide range of benefits. Now, remember, I'm just giving you what, if you do a Google search, the top experts are recommending today. You are always going to have to, one, experiment. You've got to see what works the best with your body. And two, find your own experts or gurus to follow, the ones that really speak to you. And still, you're going to have to experiment. So, for example, Tim Ferriss, I'll probably quote him a few times. He has this book out called Tools for Titans, which I think is phenomenal. So, if you are really wanting to optimize your performance, I highly recommend you go read it or listen to his podcast because he has interviewed top experts in all sorts of categories in the world. And he just brings it all together in this one book, which is super fun. So, back to supplementation. Tim Ferriss has experimented extensively with a daily cocktail of supplements, including fish oil, curcumin, and ginkgo biloba, all of which he credits with enhancing his focus, resilience, and overall sense of well being. The key is to work with a highly qualified healthcare provider to identify the specific nutrients that your body needs. Okay, so step one, prioritize whole nutrient dense foods. Step two, leverage targeted supplementation. Step three, dial in your hydration. Proper hydration is another often overlooked but essential component of physical optimization. As Dr. Gupta has emphasized, even mild dehydration can impair cognitive function, mood, and physical performance. Aim for at least 8 cups, which is 64 ounces, of clean filtered water per day. This is a simple yet powerful way to support your body's myriad metabolic processes. Beyond just plain water, you can also experiment with mineral-rich alternatives like coconut water, bone broth, or herbal teas. The key is to ensure you're consistently replenishing the fluids and electrolytes your body needs to thrive. And number four, personalize your approach. Of course, the specific dietary and supplementation needs of each individual can vary widely based on factors like age, genetics, activity level, and underlying health conditions. The best approach is to experiment, pay close attention to how your body responds, and work with qualified professionals to find the optimal nutritional regimen for you. What works wonders for one person may not be the right fit for someone else. The key is to become an empowered self experimenter, using the wealth of available data and expert guidance to sculpt a personalized plan that optimizes your unique physiology. Let's look at those one more time. The first category was sleep, and we had 4 steps to a sleep optimization toolkit. The second category is optimizing nutrition and hydration. And the 4 steps there are prioritize whole nutrient dense foods, leverage targeted supplementation, dial in your hydration, and personalize your approach. The third category of things that highly impact your physical state is movement and exercise. Extensive research has demonstrated the myriad benefits of intentional movement, from improved cardiovascular health and metabolic function to enhanced cognitive performance and mood regulation. When we engage our bodies in purposeful motion, we stimulate the release of feel good neurotransmitters like endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin. This not only boosts our immediate sense of vitality and positive emotion, but also helps to build long term resilience against stress and depression. But the benefits go beyond just neuro. As kinesiology expert Dr. Kelly McGonigal explains, exercise also changes the structure and function of the brain, strengthening neural pathways related to focus, memory, and executive function. In other words, moving our bodies doesn't just make us feel good, it actually makes us think better. So, what does an optimal movement and exercise regimen look like? Here are some of the most impactful strategies and tools recommended by leading experts. Number one, leverage high intensity interval training, often called HIIT. One of the most efficient and powerful forms of exercise is high intensity interval training. This style of training involves short bursts of maximal effort work followed by periods of active recovery. Research shows that HIIT can offer dramatic benefits in terms of cardiovascular fitness, metabolic health, and body composition, all in a fraction of the time required for traditional steady state cardio. Number 2, optimize your strength training. In addition to cardiovascular work, building functional strength through resistance training is another crucial element of physical optimization. As Dave Asprey emphasizes, this kind of purposeful muscle building not only improves body composition, but also has a profound impact on cognitive function, mood, and overall resilience. Asprey's personal strength training regimen involves a mix of free weights, body weight exercises, and strategic use of techniques like eccentric training and compound movements. The key is to find a strength training program that aligns with your specific goals and fitness level. Number 3, incorporate mobility and recovery. Of course, it is not enough to simply train hard. We also need to balance that output with strategic recovery and mobility work. This might include practices like foam rolling, stretching, and targeted myofascial release to address areas of tension and imbalance. As Tim Ferriss has discovered, these types of prehab and recovering practices are essential for preventing injury, improving joint health, and sustaining high levels of physical performance over the long term. They help you move and feel better both in and out of the gym. And number 4, explore unconventional modalities. Beyond the traditional fitness staples, you can also experiment with more unconventional movement and exercise modalities to further optimize your physical state. This might include things like yoga, tai chi, qigong, recreational sports, or even dancing. The key is to find physical activities that you genuinely enjoy and that make you feel energized, joyful, and embodied. When exercise feels more like play than work, you're far more likely to stick with it consistently over time. So let's go over this one more time. The third category is movement and exercise. And the top 4 things to look at here are high intensity interval training, strength training, mobility and recovery, and exploring unconventional modalities. And the last category that we really want to look at when it comes to impacting our physical state is mastering the art of stress management. Both chronic low-grade strain of daily life as well as the acute stress responses triggered by more dramatic challenges and changes. Extensive research has shown that unmitigated stress takes a devastating toll on our physical health. So even though when I say stress management, that sounds like it's going to fit into the mental and emotional state category, which we'll be talking about next week, but stress takes such a toll on our physical body that we have to include it here in the physical category. It contributes to everything from cardiovascular disease and immune dysfunction to chronic pain and accelerated aging. When our bodies remain in a state of persistent physiological arousal, it severely compromises our ability to rest, recover, and perform at our best. Alternatively, when we develop robust strategies for discharging tension, regulating our nervous systems, and restoring a state of balance and resilience, we unlock remarkable benefits across every domain of our lives. We experience less burnout, more energy, and a greater capacity to respond skillfully to life's ups and downs. And for those of you who think you are not stressed, I invite you to consider that you could be wrong. I remember a particular doctor's visit when my doctor, as he looked over my blood results, he said, "It looks like you're pretty stressed." And my immediate response was, "No, I'm not." And that felt true. I didn't feel stressed. That's because I am masterful at shoving my emotions away and not dealing with them. And many of you are too. When it comes to stress, this is the exact opposite of what will create an optimal physical state. So, what are some of the most effective tools for mastering the art of stress management? Here are a few key strategies recommended by leading experts. Number 1, leverage breath-based practices. One of the most powerful and accessible ways to calm the body and mind is through breath work. Practices like diaphragmatic breathing, box breathing, and breath pacing have all been shown in studies to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting a state of rest and restoration. For example, Wim Hof, known as the Iceman for his feats of extreme cold exposure, has pioneered a specific breathing technique that he credits with enhancing his physical and mental resilience. Tim Ferriss is also a big proponent of this method, using it to manage anxiety and access states of focus and flow. Number two, explore mindfulness and meditation. Another essential stress management tool is the practice of mindfulness and meditation. By training ourselves to observe our thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations with non judgmental awareness, we cultivate the capacity to ride the waves of stress rather than being swept away by them. Numerous studies have demonstrated the profound benefits of regular meditation, from reducing inflammation to improving focus and emotional regulation. As neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman explains, these practices actually reshape the brain in ways that increase our capacity for self control and resilience. Number three, engage in grounding rituals. Beyond breathwork and meditation, you can also explore a wide range of other rituals and practices for discharging physical and emotional tension. This might include things like journaling, spending time in nature, or even just stepping outside for a brief walk. The key is to find activities that help you feel more embodied, present, and connected to something larger than yourself. Simply daily rituals like a cold plunge or a gratitude practice can have a profound impact on your overall state of being. And number four, leverage pharmacological support. In some cases, targeted use of certain supplements, herbs, or even prescription medications may also be a useful tool for managing stress and optimizing your physical state. For example, adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha have been used for centuries to help the body adapt to stress. Of course, any kind of pharmaceutical intervention should be undertaken with great care and in consultation with a qualified healthcare provider. But for some individuals, strategic supplementation or judicious use of anxiety and stress reducing medications may be a valuable part of a comprehensive stress management plan. In today's world, we have a wealth of information at our fingertips. Be willing to experiment and try new things. You don't know how much something will affect your state until you've tried it. Try a cold plunge, try a sauna, try alternating a sauna and a cold plunge back and forth. Try different kinds of breath work, try yoga, try qigong, try different kinds of meditation, try HIIT, try strength training, try celery juice, try eating only whole foods, try no sugar, try fasting. Take note of how you feel physically. Then take note of the mental, emotional, and behavioral changes you notice when you have changed your physical state. What thoughts come more naturally to you after you've done the thing you're testing? What thoughts do you notice aren't as present? How do you feel emotionally after doing this thing? What actions do you feel like or not feel like taking after doing this thing? How has changing your state in this way made it easier or harder to be who you want to be? The physical pillar is foundational to unlocking your full potential across every domain of life. By systematically optimizing your sleep, your nutrition, your movement, and your stress management, you create a powerful physiological foundation that supports peak cognitive function, emotional resilience, and spiritual awareness. Here are a few questions for you to consider. What is one thing you are committed to doing to uplevel your sleep? What is one thing you're committed to doing to uplevel your nutrition? What is one thing you're committed to doing to uplevel your movement? And what is one thing you're committed to doing to uplevel your stress management? The road to physical optimization is not always easy. It requires diligence, self-experimentation, and a willingness to navigate challenges with patience and self-compassion. But the dividends it pays in terms of your energy, vitality, and overall quality of life are truly priceless. When your body is in an optimal state, your brain's thought factories pump out much more useful thoughts, giving you the freedom to live your best life. And it offers far fewer thoughts that get in the way. It makes being who you want to be 8 billion times easier. Dive in, get curious, and start crafting a personalized physical optimization plan that gives you the freedom to consistently show up as the best version of yourself. Your body, mind, and spirit will thank you. Live free, love life. Thank you for watching this episode of Live Free, Love Life. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like, comment, and share. See you next time.